Welcome to Kickturn Party.
We're back again, straight at you live from the future, and we still got Rhett here with us, and we're still talking a little bit about SK8 Hut. Actually, we're going to roll down a little bit more memory lane with Rhett. You used to do one of the
back when zines were cool.
The premier zines in Knoxville.
And everybody, like, I don't know, anybody that was around in the skate scene in the 80s when everything was dead, this is how we communicated. And when you went to different places on different road trips, everybody handed out their zine, and you came back, and it was like, you know, you had the Virginia Beach guys, the North Carolina guys, the Florida guys. Everybody had a zine, and lots of towns had multiple zines.
Yeah, exactly.
We had Control, we had Local Scene, we had Jane Doe.
We had Jane Doe.
We had THC, the magazine. We had a good bunch. But
look at here. Perfect example. Why don't you zoom in on that just a little bit? Maybe.
Hold on. I'm not instant.
Yeah.
Look, that's Mike DeLong doing an eggplant on a mini
yeah,
map.
there's Mike DeLong doing an eggplant, which is a great picture. But on the other side, what I was looking at is there was, and I barely remember this demo, but Vallely and Ed Templeton, World Industries demo out in Fountain City years ago.
Wow.
And here we got Dune. And it was at Pro Rider Bikes, if anybody remembers that.
Oh, Pro
Mike,
Rider.
yeah.
When they closed down, the little bit of skateboards they still had, they were giving those things away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Jason Lee at Huntsville, Alabama. Which camera am I looking at
Right.
here?
And Jason Lee went on to be a big-time actor.
star.
Yeah.
TV star.
He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Ed.
Yeah.
And you know, back then we took pictures with 110 cameras. We didn't know if we had a good shot.
I had a disc.
Yeah.
Kodak disc.
Yeah. I'd take it to Kmart when Kmart was still a thing. A week later, I get my pictures back. Hopefully, they came out well. Then use scissors, magic markers, Tate. My mom worked for the state at the time, so she would use the state of Tennessee copy machine.
Nice.
to run
Man,
this
wait.
off.
That's fleecing of our taxpayer dollars right there.
I'm sure I've paid it back now as a state employee myself. But, you know, you just never knew what you had. So it was all arts and crafts.
Yeah, well, and I remember like in middle school when we had to do like an art project and like the 5 skater kids in the school were like, let's do a zine. And the teacher was like, you're not doing a zine. Like, what the hell is that?
I did the THC zine for college, and everybody laughed at me.
Yeah, college was way cooler than
Yeah, it wasn't cool.
public
They all
schools.
kind of were like, why is this idiot doing this? And eventually I graduated college, thank God, but that wasn't the reason for it. Let's see what else we got here. So you've got a bunch of Control zines.
So
here.
this one is definitely the most polished. Where you at there, Bunny?
There it is.
Oh, it's got green on it, so it's
Well,
faded through.
yeah.
So this is the most polished. It's got the cover. It's full-size paper, and it's got a color cover, and it's even got like the slick feel to it. But
Pull it up again.
There you go.
there we go.
It was cool.
Look, and he charged 75 cents for them.
But only gave them away because that was only to give the impression of value.
Of value, okay.
Well, no one ever paid for
But-
75 cents, you know,
Look.
or a quarter or anything.
Look, there was even an ad.
That's right. Skateboards. I think I designed.
Question: skateboards?
I think I designed
Answer,
that ad,
skate hut.
actually. I think that was part of my graphic design legacy at
But
UT.
It's got some there. I was flipping through this one earlier. We've got Mike Hathcote. I know you'll be seeing this episode one day, doing a frontside air at Brock's Ramp over by Bearden Middle School
And you'll
off of
notice
Middlebrook.
a little bit of straight edge imagery there. That was to kind of offset the THC. But also had some, you know, references there, so we were trying to keep it balanced.
Right.
Robbie Crossland, rest in peace, brother. That's is that his backyard? Was that his backyard ramp? Yep. Which is in my neighborhood. Oh, look. Yours truly at the Unfair, blasting a big backside air with the bum quarters behind us that we tore.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah.
we tore down the silo so they couldn't live. That used to be a big silo, and we tore it down. Where's my finger?
Because the bums. Speaking of the Unfair, and we'll have a whole episode on the Unfair at some point. There was a bum fight there that time. The cops showed up. And
They
all
killed
that.
each other.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. We'll
The
come back
chalk
to that.
line was in the middle of the street.
that we'll come back to that at some other point. Here's some good stuff from Wallows. Here's some good stuff from the THC ramp. Look, there's Nate. Look, so that's who was that? Mike DeLong. Mike DeLong doing a big backside air right there.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, nice. Show the camera.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
backyard, and there's some wallows in there.
Yeah, some good wallow stuff.
So I want to flash to this page, and I was telling this story earlier. So right there, that's Rob Taylor, local ripper that could have easily gone pro back in the 80s, but kind of gave it up. But he rode for GNS, and then he got switched to Vision and was riding for Vision and hated Vision skateboards. So he took a Neil blender and sanded down the graphics and drew the Vision Gator graphics on it. So when he would get his picture made in that contest, he was riding for Vision.
Right,
but he was really riding
right.
a GNS Neil blender.
You know,
I always thought that was cool.
As I look through these, I really like your handwritten font there. I think we ought to make this into an official font
That should be a thing.
Yeah, and put it out on the
Call
web.
it control font.
Control font.
Brian bat Mike Beauchene at the Farm Ramp Jam in '87, I think.
And speaking of, I've got some video from the Farm Ramp that we'll probably look at here a little bit later, and maybe in the next episode we'll be talking about the Farm Ramp a little bit. So this was Rhett's zine. I had a zine. There were several other zines around Knoxville. Stephen Harris had a zine. You
and Trey had a zine.
Me and Trey had a zine, and we made fun of all the other zines, and it was a nightmare. Essentially, we caused a lot of problems.
Maybe we'll do a private.
And they were all available at SK8 Hut, and that
on the mag rack.
On the mag rack, and we would have to be very careful about mothers and their kids coming in and looking through the mag rack. You can't look through that one. You can't look through that zine because
that's how we argued on social media before social media.
Yeah,
exactly.
So if you look really closely on the cover here, it's actually got a photocopy of the staple that's holding it all together.
And there you go. That's true handicraft.
Man, those were good days. We had a lot of good fun. And when Rhett, I'm assuming when you went and put one of those together, because if you look at the credits page on the back, it's thanks this guy for giving me a whole bunch of photos that I ripped off, or cutting them out of Trans World from when Knoxville was in the Trans World episode.
Right.
And you got to paste that picture because there was a picture of Ryan, aka Sally Jesse Hamilton, rest in peace. He just died recently from Trans World.
Speaking of,
but that was how it was done. It was
everybody shared, everybody pitched in. No one wanted credit. No one,
and
it was
anybody would
be part of something.
Yeah, let's answer a couple of questions and call it an interview. Here's 5 pictures. Use them however you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
Speaking of Trans Worlds, I bought a few old magazines, but
Jay's flexing his collection now.
Jay's magazine closet. So there was one in here in particular, Trans World.
What's the episode?
Okay, Trans World. But here's
December '88.
Here's what we're looking at. Look at
Doug
that.
Walker.
Big, huge, full page Doug Walker, Knoxville skate legend, doing a 360 ollie pop rock.
Yeah, he
and now the SK8 Hut or Pluto Sports Manager.
And now assistant manager.
Yeah.
No, well,
my 16-year-old daughter works.
There's room to move as a fry cook. So this is a really good picture of Doug. And this was I just happened to find this earlier tonight, and I was stoked. I was like, I need to put that on air. Just for Doug.
For you, Doug.
That's just for you, Doug. So we're back out in space.
No, he's harshing on me because I was checking my phone while we're shooting an episode.
See, yeah. So
I think we need to switch, Bunny. I think you need to come and sit at the table and let one of us operate the camera.
Here's another little thing. I just real quick. Joe Bauer's ramp. Well, it says Joe's ramp here, but I don't see Joe's ramp. How about that? Maybe it was on the page.
Yeah, that's it.
There we go. So this is
And if any of you loyal watchers of Kickturn Party, I think it was
last episode.
Yeah, 59 or something like
57
that.
57 or something. Yeah.
Where the two parts of Joe Bauer's. Did you release part 2?
I released part 2, and I've got 3 and 4 ready to go. So there was another little bit there. Here we go. Here's another fun one. Action Now. This is what skateboarding turned into later on.
It's a Christmas
unfortunately.
episode.
Yeah. Christmas issue. Ooh,
so what year? This was what Skateboarder turned into, right?
Yeah.
December 1980. And is that, God, is that like Jake Burton?
Yeah. And then after that, this is what skateboarding went to.
Oh.
Hot women scolding kids.
Thrasher. I remember getting that episode in the mail.
And so
Issue.
I've got something marked in here.
Henry
and,
Gutierrez on the back.
Yeah, Henry.
Doing a big, I remember that ad.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So-
But yeah, this is
So this was
February
yeah.
of 88.
So this was all about the same time as SK8 Hut was going on. And I don't even know if we carried, I guess we carried Thrasher.
Yeah, Thrasher and Trent.
Yeah. So, well, we moved out of SK8 Hut eventually, moved into a bigger
To the
kind of-
coffee warehouse.
to the coffee
It
warehouse.
smelled like Masonite and coffee beans.
Yeah, and
Video, you want to watch it?
yeah,
let's watch
we've got another one.
With Blaize in it or something?
Yeah, with Blaize and Tate, Clair, and a few other people came down and did a little demo at SK8 Hut. I think Blaize was broke, and so he needed some money. So he said, "I'll do a video. I'll do a little thing."
There's Bart.
There's Bart. Rest in peace, Bart. So he came down. That's Tate.
That was Walker.
Doug
wasn't
Walker.
it?
Yep. Doug Walker.
That's Blaize.
Yep. So
Wearing a helmet.
yeah,
I
they
don't remember how hot it was. In
Oh
that
yeah.
place. All
There's
week.
Rex.
yeah there was no air conditioning, so it was just miserable during the summer.
There's Blaize.
Yeah. But so we did Blaize stayed in town for what? 3 or 4 months.
Hanging out.
And
Right,
sticking
he
his
was.
finger in a piranha tank.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
Mark Ballack's piranha tank.
Yeah, so
Wait,
hold on, our producer's a little confused. He's not sure what happened
No,
there.
those two things came out at the same time, but were unrelated.
All right, we had a little mind warp there for a second. Look, there's a
That's right.
That's Ryan.
Oh, that's Ryan.
Yeah.
I thought it was Rex.
No, that's Ryan.
Yeah, that is Ryan. Now that's
That's
Daryl.
Daryl,
Yeah. We had these two guys, Rex and Daryl. They were brothers, and they ripped so hard.
They were so good and could have been top pros, but
They-
they weren't really like they were into it, then they weren't, and then they were more into kind of being gangbangers and
being in the hood, and they were
Yeah.
like, we just go, we're gonna get you sponsored. We're gonna get people to send you
Well,
around the world, and they just laugh at us.
and
go,
that
"You
was
guys are
when
idiots.
Alien
We're
Workshop,
gonna go sell crack."
the original Alien Workshop was just getting off the ground, and
That's
I
right.
remember Blender would thought that they were like the greatest thing ever,
Yeah.
and really wanted them to progress, and they got into stealing cars and selling crack. So
Yeah, and good life choices.
yeah,
I-
Doug.
I saw them. I saw Rex years later at a restaurant. He said he was delivering furniture.
No,
Yeah.
Daryl came by the skate park right after it opened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he and some other guy just stopped. He was like, I heard it was open, and we just happened to be there.
Right.
Yeah, and I talked to him for a minute, and I was like, go get a skateboard, dude. I'm sure you can still do this.
No, I ain't
blew
doing
it
that.
off. Yeah.
But more Doug Walker ripping it up. Yeah.
Back when Doug used to skate.
And we had a lot of people there that night. It got packed. Big pro demo.
that smelled great.
Smelled like knee pads.
It smelled like knee pads, dead
Steel
mice,
Yep.
masonite, and
That's
sweat.
Tate right there.
Yeah. And stale beer.
Yeah, especially the mornings that you were like, "Hey, Red, can you cover my shift for me?" Yeah, I'll go in there. It's like, why does it smell like piss, beer, and vomit in here? Thanks, Jay. I'll make it family friendly before I open the door for the next rental party.
Did you just see
Yeah.
him stall
Stall
that
out
invert on a 5-foot
yeah.
wall? God.
And they just did a
Miller flip. God, man. That's just crazy. On
Foot
those
plant.
little small, tiny ramps.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Doing big vert tricks like that. That's really hard to do on that small stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and that was before everything got all slow.
Check
and
out those
flippy.
awesome Vision high
So
tops
we're-
he's wearing.
20 seconds left. So that was a little bit more of SK8 Hut, a little bit more of what we had going on at that time.
Hey, any of you guys out there watching our show, if you hung out back then, if you were a kid or even
Leave
were
us a
kid,
comment.
Leave us a comment and tell us your best SK8 Hut story from back in the day. We'd love to hear it and read about it on the comments.
I-
Tell us
I-
also how much you hated the people that worked behind the counter. You know it was hard for us.
Yeah, I'm the main suspect there. So bring it on, bring it on.
Send
I
us an email.
want your hater comments. We want them. We want
Hey,
them.
thanks for stopping by another
Episode of Kickturn
episode
Party.
of Kickturn Party. We appreciate it. Send us some emails.
Everybody's gonna hang out here tonight. All right. We'll pass out in the flat.